Hello, everybody. It's me, your boy Cryptid. So I've just spent the last, I wouldn't say full day, but a good portion of my day playing Black Beacon. And I have a list here of the first part. We're gonna put the good, what I liked about it, and then we'll work into the bad. But for the most part, I do like the game. It has some pretty redeeming qualities. Uh, has nice gameplay. It is a top-down game, which we don't have a lot of top-down games, especially top-down gacha games that at least I don't know of. But without further ado, let's get into this. So the good. The game visually just looks great. The cutscenes, the character, how the characters are developed, and just everything visual looks fantastic. It has a nice speedy dialogue system, which I love. I hate when I know Honkai Star Rail did this a lot. When they finish a dialogue and then they sit there and just stare at each other for a weird pause of time, and then they just continue on. This one doesn't really have that. They will continue on like it's a normal conversation, like they're actually talking to each other, which is great. And if you do want to speed it along, there's 3 different dialogue settings for speed: 1, 1.5, and 2, in case you just want to get by it real fast. Or if you want to, you could just skip it right off the bat, which I love. I'm not a huge fan of some stories, especially when the story doesn't really make too much sense, which I'll talk about that later. But I love it. And because they throw a lot of new words, a lot of terms really specific to this game. They give you a little cheat sheet when you're in dialogues and stuff to let you know, be like, hey, we know you're throwing a lot at you, but if you're really not following along, here's some of the things. You press a button in the top left, and it gives you basically an encyclopedia for the game of everything you've learned so far, which is really great. I really like that. And the combat by itself, I do like top-down games. I've played a bunch of top-down games, just not any top-down gacha games. And even though this is my first one, I do like it. I do like the combat. It is very nice, smooth for the most part. And I do like that setting. I originally thought it was going to be kind of like Wuthering Waves combat, where it was going to be third person and you do the combat like that, but it's more of a top-down perspective, which is all good. I really liked it. From my first day of playing it, it gave a lot of good marks that could make it a fantastic game for somebody. But while there are a bunch of good things of it looking good, having good dialogue, good cutscenes, and giving you a bunch of tools and a bunch of unique characters to the system, there are, of course, some bads. Some things that are not really what you want to see in a brand new released game. So, let's go down to it. The bad. The story is really hard to understand. It's just flopping around out there, and it's just a lot to try and consume, trying to deal with. It's just a lot. Now, I'm sure later on they're really trying to make it so you don't understand it, but it makes it so hard to try and jump into this game, especially for people who like story. I'm not a huge story person, but I really was trying to get into the vibe of it, trying to figure out what they're going for, right? To figure out what is the story going to be about. And I sat through the first good portion of it, and I'm just like, I just can't. It is so hard to even try and figure out what is happening, because they're jumping you around in time periods and all these different people. You don't even start off knowing who you are. It's a classic amnesia thing, or you don't have any backstory or anything going on. You're just thrust into the world, and you're like, all right, now you can deal with it. So, I'm not a huge fan of how the story is played out. Another huge thing is you have to this archaic system of you have to use energy to do any sort of story is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't just let people play the game. It's a huge downside just seeing that in the game in general, when there's so many other things you could just do. Let people play, and then do it in segments and just release it little by little if you're really that concerned about how much people play. But it is a terrible system to use any sort of energy system to bottleneck you into playing. It's terrible. Just use energy system for grinding gear or anything like that. Don't use it to block off story progression. It's terrible. And at certain parts, they ask you. Now, this is for PC strictly, because I don't play a lot of games on my phone. For the most part, I just do like dailies and just kind of like do that. But for the most of like playing the game and experiencing it, I do it on PC. This one, they say you can play it on PC, but it's off the Google Play Store client. And it is not optimized whatsoever. There's a specific part, it says pinch the zoom, because you have to look at the area and find the cleanest bookshelf to navigate the area, navigate the maze. And you can't see it. There's no option, no kind of adaptability for it on PC. You have no option whatsoever to pinch and zoom to look in. They don't let you scroll in or anything like that. At least they didn't for me. And it's just terrible. So I'm just running into random rooms hoping I'd get it right. So a lot of the things are just bad optimization. It really does not feel like they thought about the PC players at all. Like, yes, you can play it on PC, but they don't have a dedicated client. They're using the Google Play Store. The controls, I think, feel awful because they really don't want you to use your mouse at all. When you use your mouse, it's just your regular cursor that you have on the computer, and it you can't do anything with it. You can't turn your camera, you can't zoom in, can't zoom out. It's just bad. And for the most part, you want to, on the PC client, you want to attack with the mouse, but the attack button that they give you is a space bar. It's certain things like that. And yes, you can change it, but it's really not good at all. Because in their mind, they don't have any support for the mouse. They don't want you to use a mouse whatsoever. And it's just terrible. But it really feels like they just kind of threw it on PC just for the shits and giggles of it. They really did not think of the PC players at all in any aspect. Another reason is the mouse. It just keeps running off the screen. It is not locked into the screen, and I'm trying to click and play and everything, and I'll just run off the screen and start doing something on my other monitor because I have two monitors, so I can have my OBS up on the other one. It just keeps running off. There's no kind of screen lock whatsoever. It just feels bad. It's not fun. It's very frustrating trying to play this game on PC. I will say that. It's very frustrating. And go down to the next one. Towards the end of me playing for the day, on launch day, it was randomly lagging super hard. And the audio, if it wasn't lagging, the audio was lagging. It was skipping, cutting in and out. It was coming in and coming out really bad. It was just, nothing seemed to be going right towards the end of it. Like, it was just kind of like overloading. I know there's going to be a lot of people playing, but like, it's a single player game. I shouldn't be having those kind of issues. And like I said, it's just the audio bugs and audio skipping. I kind of put them in two separate parts, because they started happening in two parts. But it's just the bad PC controls all around. If they could optimize this in any sort of way to help the PC players, this game would shoot off. If they make their own client for PC while optimizing it so we don't have to use the Google Play Store, that would be even better. But going from a completely non-biased standpoint on this game, I do love it. It has amazing potential. It really could be fun. But all these things on the good side, the fun combat, the great dialogue, the great characters, and everything like that is really heavily counteracted by the they want you to pinch and zoom, but you can't do it for PC. They bottleneck you into playing the game in general, so you can't even fully enjoy the story. You're gonna have to stop if you're really looking at it. You're like, damn, I can't go any further because I ran out of energy for the day. That's terrible. That's a terrible feeling. You want people to get immersed, get to the finish line of what you have already done for the story, and then you can have it like cut off and then wait for the next patch and release more story. Why do you have to bottleneck us into playing the story that's already out? It doesn't make any sense. It is terrible game design, and I will say that till the day I die. I've hated every game that wanted to use story to bottleneck your energy. It makes no sense. Feels like old MySpace PC games. It's terrible. Hopefully later on the story doesn't feel as jumpy and it gets a little bit easier to understand, but the beginning part is so hard to get into, doesn't make any sense. So hopefully they can fix that. They just need to do away with this and use the energy for something else. They just need to do away with the story making energy. Whoever thinks this is a good idea, they need to get fired. It has never been a good idea, and it has only enraged people. But besides that, they just need to optimize it. They need to think about their PC players, because nowadays people don't just play things on their phone. Every mobile game has some sort of PC client. I've seen better adaptation for games on BlueStacks than they just have at a base. It is crazy. And besides the PC controls, they need to lock the mouse to the screen so it doesn't just keep running off. That was a huge one. It was bothering me. I was just clicking on random things on my other screen just because I was in the middle of a fight and my mouse just ran away. Just ran away to another part of my computer. It's just terrible. Ugh, I want to like this game. I really do. But a lot of these things are really holding it back. If they can fix these things, I'll be happy to play this game. I'll be happy to endorse this game to anyone who wants to play a top-down gacha game. Because it has great combat. Great character design. But with how terrible it is to play, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone at the moment. Honestly. I would give this game a solid 4.5 out of 10 at the moment, just because it's so bad to play. Even if you can get past your mouse running off your screen. The terrible controls for PC that you have to go back in and try and fix on your own. They don't even let you have just like WASD. They keep the little thumb joystick thing for your phone on the PC client. Doesn't make any sense. But even if you can get all that, it's just randomly it just starts lagging. Like in the middle of combat, I had a character die because I was lagging. And then the audio bugs are just terrible to listen to. With it skipping and just it is just terrible. They can fix all that. It's a great game, but 4.5 out of 10 for me, honestly. I wanted to like this game. I had high hopes for it, but it is just terrible to play. It is honestly terrible to play. But let me know how you guys think about it. Maybe you guys have had a different experience, but this is just my personal review. Thank you all for watching. Leave a comment if I'm right, wrong, or if you just hate me now. Have a good one. Peace.